We're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Symphony. I'm supposed to be reading this copy
Hello,
right now.
everyone, and welcome to the Symphony. I'm supposed to be reading.
Oh, wait, hold on. Weird things
That
are
was
happening.
me. Sorry. Yeah,
Was that you?
Yeah, that was
Like,
me.
is it me? I was supposed to be reading copy, and I'm going to get back to it. But because this is a finale episode, and it's happening on two different places in Discord and now in the chat, feel free to do your list off on who do you think is going to die in order. Because right now I have two characters sitting at 4 insight and two characters sitting at 5 insight. The entire table for sure is not going to make it out of this episode. So whomever hits the list exactly, I will send a free hardcover copy of the scenario too. So get your kill list together. And if you hit it on the nose, I will send you a free hardcover copy. I think Bucha and I already have our stuff in the chat. Put it in the chat. Let me know and we'll see how this goes. And
I'm choosing to abstain.
I'm choosing to abstain.
As a hint, Dallas Aquino is going to survive this and live happily ever after.
Chris has maintained that from the very beginning. We'll see. All right, back to this copy. Symphony Entertainment, Gaming and Arts is my gaming company that focuses on horror systems, indie games, organic content, and player agency in an attempt to bring a symphonic approach to horror role-playing. I am your host, Bridget Jeffries, and tonight I will also be serving as your director to the finale of the Miskatonic Shoreside Conservatory, written by me for Cthulhu Dark. Cthulhu Dark is a rules-light, narrative-focused tabletop role-playing game published by the absolutely amazing Graham Walmsley. You can find Cthulhu Dark in print and PDF over at Indie Press Revolution. The campaign that you guys have been watching is currently available in PDF, softcover, and hardcover at DriveThru RPG. But because of my awesome Patreon backers and some maneuvering in my budget, I was able to send a couple cases of softcovers to Indie Press Revolution. So they will actually be carrying Miskatonic Shoreside Conservatory at their warehouse, at their convention, and hopefully in gaming stores near you. So Patreons, thank you, because paying for that upfront is a whole prayer. So tonight we will be giving away a hardcover copy of the scenario. And Bucho, who has been super generous in giving away signed copies of his 2 published books, will actually be offering up the Any award-winning supplement, Cults of Cthulhu. So mind you, this is 2 different Cthulhu systems that are being given away right now. One is for Cthulhu Dark. The other one is for 7th edition Call of Cthulhu. But once you get to the end of this episode, you'll see why Cults of Cthulhu is super applicable. Alex, can you please give us instructions on exactly how all of that works? Nope. No, I refuse.
That's appropriate. Yep.
I guess I could do that. If you would like to sign up for the giveaway, please click the little follow button down at the bottom of your window where you're watching Twitch right now, and then type into the chat !Shoreside, all one word. And you'll be given 1 ticket to enter the raffle.
Boot. We will draw that shortly before we give our closing remarks. Also, I wanted to give a huge shout out to Alex, our incredible producer over here at Symphony Entertainment from the Untold Stories Project. This will be Alex's last episode serving as Symphony's producer. So I know if shit starts looking really inefficient and not sexy going forward, make sure you blame me and not Alex. He has done a phenomenal job with training me. And honestly, the stream wouldn't have launched without you, Alex. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for coming over to my house and teaching me how to launch slobs. Thank you for getting me set up. Thank you for like the dinners and the lunches over at Panera where you're like, all right, dumbass, this is how you do this. Just thank you for absolutely everything. We sincerely appreciate you.
Well, thank you very much for being a great student.
Mwah!
And for
And don't worry,
to
you
be
guys
in the
will still
orbit
step
of your
with it.
greatness.
Legitimately sad now. Thank you for starting that off.
Sorry, your insight goes up by 1.
Wait, did we just kill a bunch of people in the pregame?
Yeah. All our spirits are down.
Because that's how we get down here at Symphony
Emotional
Entertainment.
whiplash.
Emotional whiplash. Don't stress out too much, guys. I'm gonna be over on Untold Stories Project. Alex is gonna come back over here. You'll still see him and it'd be great. 2 very last quick announcements. 1, I will be out of the country for a good chunk of October. So our weekly Wednesday stream content will pick back up once I get back home. Now, with that being said, in order to kind of keep content going, I am going to throw out another Symphony Sonatas, one of the 60 minutes of improvised horror role playing. We've got one of those scheduled just to kind of, tide everything over. Then I have a symphonic surprise for you guys starting at the end of October. I'm releasing a new segment called Cross the Strings, where basically I take other publishing houses, other gaming groups, other gaming organizations, other crews, and I literally just bring them over here, invite them onto Symphony's platform, and we run their stuff. Either I can run it, their GM can run it, they can provide the cast, I can provide the cast, it doesn't matter, but it's a great fun way to cross promote, being that Symphony is literally cheerleading for anything that is horror tabletop role-playing game. So if you have a gaming club, organization, stream, podcast, platform, whatever, and you would like to run your horror content on Symphony, or you want me to run it, please feel free to get in touch. Like I said, you can bring your cast. I can bring a cast. It doesn't matter. Rising tides lift all ships. So if you're interested in this opportunity, feel free to reach out to me on social media or check in with me at symphonyentertainment.com. Last announcement, as always, we do have a Patreon. So if you can hook a sister up and back us on Patreon, I would really, really appreciate it. Every dollar helps. Every dollar matters. And I see you guys and I appreciate you. So if you'd like to help us make more content like this, please consider backing us on patreon.com/Symphony Entertainment. Whew. Without further ado, let's unveil this cast. Cast members, please tell us who you are, where people can find you, some of the things that you do. Then tell us the name and occupation of your investigator, a 1-2 sentence impression of how they're doing, and how you're feeling as we march together as a family into expulsion. I believe this is Bucho to take us out.
Hi, everybody. I'm Bucho. I don't know how to turn down the volume on other browsers when I'm recording, so that's me. You can find me, as well as all of my art, my literature news, home renovations, literary news. Hopefully I will have another book out by the end of next year, but we'll see. You can all find all that at Instagram with my handle at The Real Pink Manther. And I'm playing Twee tonight. Twee is a little bit punk rock, a little bit hardcore. She is enthusiastic, but not terribly optimistic about how things are going to go. But we're going to make it work. We're going to find out how we can get Dallas into this final project and yeah, get that mentorship.
Okay. Hopping over to Perry.
Hello, everyone. I'm Perry Clark, licensed marriage and family therapist. So you can hear me on my podcast, Mind Untying Knots, Minds and Souls Untethered. Otherwise, you can find me spending most of the time at my practice, Untangle and Grow Counseling here in the Silicon Valley area of California. So I played Jamal Harris, who at one point started this game able to play the sax. Now is discovering his ability to sing with his voice, as he's now taking on the qualities of his mother as opposed to his father. Right now, he's pretty much pissed off and wants to see Sylvia get hers for hurting his family.
Ooh, Perry, you have no idea how much I love you right now for having your hands taped up. You just, you're the best part of waking up. I fucking love you. Chris, hit us.
Well, Dallas is the one who has been hurt by this evil Sylvia person. So she was paralyzed last week below the waist, which is bad because she is a dancer. However, there is a great history of people dancing without legs. So we will see how she transcends that and does the project with Twee. I shall survive.
Fingers crossed. You have been consistent across the board, Chris, that Dallas was going to make it. Allie, finish us up, baby.
Hi, I'm Allie, and you can find me on the Old Ways podcast as Katerina Bogdanovich for our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicles. And I play August Williamson, and I play the violin, and we're gonna see what happens to us tonight.
I wish I could say I'm sure everything is going to be okay, but we have a kill list going. I don't think it will be. I have reviewed content warnings with the cast and crew, and they understand that the X card is in play. X's can be sent via private message and Zoom. No judgment passed, no questions asked. So let's hop in and see how you guys do. I'm really excited to see how this plays out. I'm also like weirdly nervous and like sad about it too. So there is a chill across the campus. Classes have been suspended for the day. Even the waves on the shore seem to have stopped their lapping for the time being. An air of anticipation, dread, and vengeance just licks at the air around you. Expulsion. That's what Hannah declared to you all, say for Dallas, before she sent you back to cabin C. Expulsion. August mentioned it, and I happen to agree. That just doesn't seem to be enough. Will charges be brought against Sylvia Whitehead? And even if charges are brought against her, will that make Dallas walk again? No. A campus-wide alert goes out. As the sun rises tomorrow, you'll be collected from your cabinets by a member of staff. Until then, you've been ordered by Hannah Downs to stay in your cabin. Sleep doesn't come for any of you. We're going to hop over to Dallas. Dallas, you're back in the hospital again. And the decision was made to keep you on site. There were talks of choppering you out to the mainland in Providence, but those talks have since stopped. Your parents have not been notified of the incident. No one on the mainland has been notified of what happened. They took your phone. Hannah took your earrings. And
What?
Sylvia, Hannah took your earrings. And Sylvia took the use of your legs, your ability to walk, to run, and to dance. You're never quite alone in the facility over the next 24 hours. Someone from staff is always with you. And it doesn't hurt physically. Maybe you imagine that it would. But as you lay in the bed, they constantly refill your IV with something. You don't know what it is. Princess won't tell you what it is. You may not even care. And you try not to think too much of that strange green color that's in the bag and the debris and the herbs that kind of float in and out of sight as the bag continues to get, pumped intravenously through your system. They do wind up connecting you to a catheter. Princess comes in at some point and she insists that they start discussing options for bladder and bowel function control for you. And Hannah, who stays in the room with you, just dismisses her and says later. Rue comes in at some point, and she is insisting that she is present for the notification call to your parents. Yet again, Hannah listens to her for a moment, then dismisses her and says later. Jeremy Leitner wheels in, all Solomon smiles, looking to provide you some additional support. He tells you that dancers and visual artists tend to be the most sensitive to the news. He starts a story about how the voices once called him to the roof of the student center, and just before he jumped off it, and Hannah dismisses him and says later. The night passes. You don't sleep. Hannah eventually leaves you early morning to prepare for what she's calling the expulsion ritual. They plan on wheeling you in your bed to the event. Just before she leaves, she says, I can't give you back the use of your legs, Dallas, but I can offer you a promise. The price that you've paid, the rewards will be greater. And you're soon prepared in silence by the staff in your bed for transport to the expulsion. Give us a quick feedback on what Dallas's experience is over the last 24 hours.
Well, first of all, I'm like really, really pissed lying there in the bed and, just trying to make my legs move by sheer willpower alone. They are, I just don't so much want to walk. I just want to like get up and dance. And, I can't. I am sort of like, working on the rhythm with my arms and, the rest of my body. But, the stuff below just kind of sits there. I am outraged that they took my earrings, and I keep on glancing up at that green herb-filled bag, annoyed like whatever hippie shit they're hitting me with. I'd like some actual real medicine and not like, whatever Berkeley kind of stuff they're feeding me with. And so I'm just like feeling like a churning chaos of feelings. Really want my earrings back. I feel like part of my senses have been taken away with them.
Yeah, it's almost insult to injury that you're paralyzed at this point. Then they also took away a gift that was specifically made for you. You sure they have their reasons, but maybe you just don't care. Hopping over to cabin C, kind of give me a montage or an ideal of what you guys have been up to. This event happened, I believe it was late morning, early afternoon. The fight broke off simultaneously with Tui and Dallasay and Sylvia Whitehead. At the same time, August and Jamal were in the Hall of Memories. It was lunch. After Hannah gave you the declaration that Dallasay would never walk again, she sent you back to your cabins and she ordered you to stay there. And even from just looking out your windows, or if you decide to go to hell with it, I'm still leaving. It seems all students have been suggested to be confined to their cabins. You don't see anybody out moving around. Food is being delivered almost like you would get it on DoorDash. And the campus is just coldly quiet. Cabin C, what are you guys up to?
I have an important question to ask first.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know that Dallasay's earrings have been taken? No.
You do not.
Okay. So that was after we left.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Okay. I would say I'm probably rage painting. Because I've set up my room to do that. It's been set up to be a creating space rather than a living space, just like the studio. So yeah, I would just randomly create whatever, like free association creation, basically.
Okay. So you begin rage painting, and Twee, as much as it hurts me to actually say this to you, as you're painting, you realize that there is a disconnect. Something is wrong. You're either not connecting to the art isn't connecting to you, whatever it is, that electricity, that static, that feeling, that sensation that typically accompanies this campus, it feels like it's either been suppressed or muted or turned off. And rage painting is rage painting. You feel how you feel, but as far as just the performance of it, it feels hollow. It feels empty. And it feels like you're a 3-year-old again, just knocking over paint with your feet and watching it spill over the canvas.
It feels like a tantrum.
It feels like a tantrum.
Yeah.
August or Jamal?
I am restringing my violin.
Okay.
Even though the strings didn't physically break during the performance, it all felt wrong, so I have to fix it. Which means just pulling off all the strings, redoing it. There's probably like a piano downstairs so that I can retune it. It's the only thing that probably is keeping me calm enough to not try to hunt down Hannah and demand to know why it is that we're not specifically getting the authorities on the island.
Okay. August is the same thing. You just feel hollow and shallow and cheap going through the process of restringing your violin. There's something wrong. The campus isn't speaking to you the way that it was. It almost feels like the campus has turned its back on you. And it's hard to believe that you just had the performance of your life in front of new mom in the same day. And now everything just seems distant. Jamal?
So Jamal has stepped out onto the balcony of his room, looking out at the sea as the memories of the funeral for his parents, the 2 separate ones that he had to attend, is just filling him. And finding himself, for lack of better word, some influence from Graham and such, is he's starting to sing a dirge.
Okay.
Soft one. Don't know if it's carrying, but it is just is singing a dirge for the pain that has happened.
Okay.
With the memory, with a mental image of Dallas dancing to it.
Okay. Oh God, that's heartbreaking. With the mental image of Dallas dancing to it. The images of Dallas dancing, and I'm not saying this funny, but they almost seem crippling because it's so hard to make the connection between this beautiful, majestic creature that you have become friends with, that you become connected with, isn't going to be able to do what's in your memory anymore. And you begin to sing, and you're looking out over the sea. And again, like I said, it's just completely flat. It's almost like the wind isn't even pushing the surface of the water. Something is wrong. And all three of you feel this simultaneously because you're performing, and I didn't ask for a human or an occupation role because it doesn't matter. Something is wrong. Anything else you guys want to do before Rue comes to collect you first thing in the morning for the expulsion ritual?
I mean, we're talking about several hours at this point, right?
Yeah. This happened in the afternoon, and Hannah says that you'll be collected right before the sun rises tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'm going to try and sneak my way across campus to go see Dallas. I mean, I'm going to go check in on her before I go to bed. I mean, I'm not going to go to bed and not check on her. Like, yeah. So I'm going to try to sneak across campus.
Okay.
Do we still have phone communication to the mainland?
It's interesting when you pick up the landlines, they're all disconnected. You hear that hissing static the second you pick up the landline. They've never done that to you before. Jamal, August, anything else you guys want to do tonight? And then I'll wrap up Twee. Okay.
Jamal will pull the tarot deck that he has with him.
Okay.
And lay out the cards for that. As much as he can, lobster clawed.
Yeah, lobster clawed out. Bucha, I hate you for your fucking laugh right now. So you're going to start pulling out tarot cards. Okay. Twee, it's one of those moments where you're just like, at this point, you guys are being obnoxious. This is insult to injury. When you get to your front door, remember I told you they were all electronically locked. Your front door is locked.
Damn. Okay. They've gone to great lengths to keep us sequestered. So breaking down the door is not going to improve the situation. I get the feeling Twee is probably up most of the night, sleepless.
Okay.
So she'll be exhausted the next day.
Okay. Jamal, lobster claws and all, you're able to pull out your deck of tarot cards, and you put them out, and Jamal, you had a connection to those tarot cards back home. It's the same connection that your Nana gave you. She taught you how to read those cards. She taught you how to interact with them. She taught you how to seek the meaning in what they showed you. There's no way this campus could be overriding that. But you pulling out the cards, even as you're looking at the images, even as you're trying to draw meaning from it, you might as well be playing with a deck of playing cards. Something is wrong, and it's intercepting all of you in different ways. But you're still able to pull out your cards. But anything you pull from the cards will be pure speculation. Yet again, I'm not asking for a roll. It doesn't matter.
Well, that's right. I actually pulled some cards. So we have the Two of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Swords.
What do you think that means? What does Jamal think that means?
The Two of Cups is often talking about the idea of things coming together, differences, which speaks very much to our cabin as it is. The Knight of Wands speaks to a figure that is, do you think is one thing, but is another, and holds also great ability to defend itself. The last
Ooh.
is the Knight of Swords, a figure who also stands in the cold, but ready to draw its sword. Is it in practice or is it in the fight for its honor? But one way or another, passion will still win, and passion still fuels everything.
Okay. Bravely done, by the way, Perry. You just add so much to my life on a regular basis. Okay. The night goes by uneventfully, and that morning, you guys do hear, and when I'm talking about morning, I'm talking about the sun isn't fully up yet. The sun is on its way to getting up. You hear a knock on your front door, followed by a subsequent, your blue lights on your individual landlines in your rooms start flashing and blaring.
I'll head down, fully dressed.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if it sounds like alarms, then I'm definitely running down.
Okay. August, you're heading down with them?
Yeah, I probably also have my violin with me because I don't know if I'll need it today.
Okay. All right. You bring your violin with you, and something that's always felt like a natural extension to your arm almost feels foreign and new and awkward and uncomfortable. When you get downstairs, it is not Rue who is waiting for you. It is Bahija Mohammed, which is another student. This is the Muslim cellist that had the entire issue where she was trying to play the like tendons on the inside of her leg. She has the staples that are running down from her hips to her ankles. She is there, and she looks and she smiles to all of you. But it's one of those really pitiful, sad smiles. And she says, Ruth cannot make it. She sent me to gather you. I'm so sorry.
Do you know if we'll be able to stand with Dallasay?
I passed a health center on the way here. They're bringing her out in the bed. They're actually wheeling her to whatever this is.
I'll glance at the others and, if you could, take us to her.
And she looks and she says, I think I should just take you to the fountain. And she starts itching her staples, and you can see one of them kind of like, just drag out as it get caught in one of her fingernails. And she just absently just flicks it. And she says, that's what they told me to do. I think that's what I should do.
We'll address it when we get there. Please lead on.
And she, rolls herself back. And then she starts heading that direction. And as you guys are passing cabin Delta and Echo and Golf and some of the other ones, you can see the same thing happening. They're either being collected by another student or they're being collected by various members of staff. And you guys are all heading towards the fountain area. I saw you jumping up and down on that one, Allie. I freaking love you. I love you so much. As you guys are heading to the fountain area, Alex, would you be so kind as to tee up the water fountain, please? The water fountain is sitting in a huge campus green. You have the water that is spinning through this fountain with these elevated basins that don't make any sense because they're not suspended by anything that you can tell. They almost look like they're hovering or that they're levitating. In the background, the sun is just now starting to peek out over the water, and you can see that the waters at least are starting to slowly come back into life. And directly before the fountain, there's a center aisle, and then there are two sets of chairs, very much like a wedding ceremony. They're the white picnic chairs, and there's a group to the left where you can see where students are seating themselves, and there is a group to the left or to the right where you can see that the faculty is there. And let me give this to you really fast. So not unlike a wedding ceremony, these two groupings of chairs have a center aisle. Staff is to the right, students are to the left. You can see that Rue is seated in the front section of the staff, the faculty section. She looks heartbroken, dry tears stain her cheeks, her nose is running, and she is nervously bouncing her leg. And you can see that standing before the center aisle is Hannah Downs. She looks livid. The rest of the staff is either seated or standing on their sections, and there's something very cold and something very distant about all of them. All of your private instructors are there, your mentors are there. None of them look to you, none of them acknowledge you. None of them even just like glance up at you. They're just seated still. And coming down a walkway, you can see Princess Achabi and two of her other nurse practitioners are wheeling Dallasay down. You do not see Sylvia Whitehead.
I'm gonna head towards Dallasay for sure, or at least
Likewise.
like where it looks like they are taking her to. Like, yeah.
Okay. So Jamal and Twee, you guys are able to just kind of like cut off. You're approaching as she's approaching, so it won't take you long to connect with her. Princess Achabi doesn't say anything to you. Her two nurse practitioners, as you guys approach, just kind of separate on either side of this wheeled bed, and go and assume their positions on their side of the chairs of the aisle. And you guys reach Dallasay. Princess is continuing to push her as you guys are walking.
Okay. I would imagine we'd take up where the nurses had left. Almost like pallbearers, if you think about it.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah,
It's
don't
very-
think
so
about
very
it.
It feels very funereal. It does.
Yeah. Are you okay? All things considered, how are you doing?
They took my earrings. I want them back.
Who took them?
I don't know. One of the teachers. It might have been Hannah.
They say where they were taking them?
No.
Okay.
I'm just mad. I want to kill that bitch.
Sure. That is completely understandable.
I just take Dallasay's hand and just hold it, and say to her, is like, no matter what happens, no matter how angry you get, go ahead and squeeze this hand.
Okay. I squeeze back, not painfully hard, but
And I
Snuggling.
return the squeeze in return.
okay.
You have my boots and my sass. And I will cut a bitch.
Okay. I assume that those boots are steel-toed.
Only one way to find out.
All right. Well, let's see if we can find a face for you to test them on.
Dallasay, you and your two pallbearers usher you to the very front row of the student sections, and they kind of hoist up the back of your bed so you're sitting upright. They rearrange some of the chairs, and Princess just kind of gives you a curt nod, and she goes back over to the faculty section where she belongs.
Am I still connected to that ridiculous bag of green goo?
No, they disconnected you from whatever the fuck they've been putting in your IVs before they did the transport out here.
Okay.
So here's a question. Where are you guys seated? If you're looking at 6 rows of 5, you guys sitting in the back? Are you sitting up front? Are you
Oh no,
surrounding?
sitting in the very fucking front.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm assuming that I'm in the.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that I'm in the front.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dallas, you're up front. Yeah.
Yeah. This is front row territory for us. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
With a little offshoot that's to the normal setup.
Ooh, guys, August is pissed. Okay. So you guys are all up front.
Bring out your sacrificial daggers.
You got your sacrificial daggers, right? It's an expulsion, guys. You're all being dramatic. Like it's going to be a speech and some paperwork. It's fine.
And I'll offer my other hand over to August.
Oh, well, I mean, my hands are full because whatever's happening, I'm probably going to play.
All right. Well, then my other hand's on your shoulder.
That's fine.
Okay. Little
'Cause
lobster hand.
I'm sitting and I'm like ready because I need whatever is going to happen to also be done on my terms.
Okay.
whatever energy I channeled in the amphitheater, I want to channel again with whatever this ritual is.
Okay.
Lee is patiently waiting, but also constantly running through where those earrings might possibly be on campus.
Okay. Where the fuck would they have put them? Where would they have put them? Where would they put
Yeah.
them? You look at Real Ye, who is sitting in the front row with her handler, and just like, would they put it on the dog? No, they wouldn't put it on the dog. But Real Ye is there. She doesn't even look her normal happy-go-lucky ears, floppy tails. Like she's almost just sitting at attention, also staring forward directly at the water fountain. Okay. You guys are all seated there in the front row. August, you have your violin at the ready. New mom is standing at the front facing you guys with her back to the water fountain, but you get the impression that she doesn't see you guys. And August, there's a slight moment where you go like, no, not again. I can't lose another parent. This is that type of cold distance that you got from Virginia for the last 18, 19 years. But there's something about Hannah that seems like she's there, but she's not there. But she definitely doesn't see you all, at least as a student body. She seems to see the staff, but she doesn't see you. And Sim Price, our favorite campus mechanic and the asshole that you guys met from the ferry, winds up bringing Sylvia Whitehead down that same walking path that Dallasay was brought down. And
We booze. Boo!
Twee boos. Several of the other students are kind of like looking around, confused about what's going on or what happens next. You're booing, and the entire staff all stands up. They all stand up, and their eyes are directly on Sylvia Whitehead. She looks like she's been crying. Other than that, she doesn't look like she has any other injuries or ailments about her. It just looks like she's been crying all night. And you can hear her murmuring and pleading towards Vincent Price. And she's saying things like, I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry, incoming thunder. None of the footage has left the island. That girl, she threw away my phone. I signed the NDA. I didn't mean to hurt that girl. I never would have hurt that girl. And as she's coming across the staff section, and the whole staff's eyes are on her, she looks over to you, Dallasay, and just this sob catches in her throat as she looks to you. And whether you believe it or not, whether you even care or not, she genuinely did not want this to happen to you. And the sob catches in her throat as she's like face to face to what she's done to you. And she just kind of stammers back. She falls back, and just Vincent just aggressively yanks her back up by her shoulder and just kind of throws her over at Hannah. And then he goes and he stands with his colleagues.
We is starting to get a weird feeling. Like before, she was ready to cut a bitch. And now I think, I think after hearing her plea, like something kind of triggers inside her, and she's like, oh, I mean, yeah, she was a bitch, but she didn't mean to do it. It wasn't intentional. There's an internal struggle happening now with Twee. She is she's torn on where she should be.
Dallasay, Jamal, August, anybody want to chirp in with how they're feeling internally or anything else before I continue?
I'm not, quite there. I'm just kind of like glaring at her with a heart of granite, and I don't want her eyes to escape mine. There may be like a small twitch of sympathy, but it's kind of just like immediately swallowed up by stone. And most of all, I don't want her to stop looking at me. I want her to see me.
Okay. And she sees you, and that starts her with the silent sobbing, and then she can't see you, and then she forces herself to see you, and then she can't, and she's rising back to her feet, and she's pleading with Hannah, just low mewling murmurings. I didn't mean to do this. I wouldn't hurt her like that. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know. Jamal or August?
So Jamal's hand is tightening around Dallas as she just looks on. And Jamal is also, there's definitely an anger visage on his face that never seen before, as the memories of being in a situation like this at his parents' funeral catches in the fact that he never knew whatever or whoever took his mother.
Yeah.
He never knew what his father's final days were like. And there is just an anger, at least that, and a sort of satisfaction, at least there will be something he gets to see done today.
Oh, shit.
Because they hurt his family.
They did. They did. August?
I'm gonna wait and see if Sylvia looks at all of us individually or not.
Yeah, at some point she will. She's going to be going wild-eyed here in a second, so she'll see that whole front row. She'll see
And
you.
when she sees me, I'm gonna be mouthing the words beg and suffer. When she sees me.
Woo! It takes her a second as her brows furrow to try to understand what you're mouthing to her. And wow, Allie, that was really fucking chilling.
Yeah, table is hot tonight.
Ooh, honey. Oh, God, Jesus, Allie, that was so chilling.
Or the table is cold. I mean,
could go a couple different ways. Her brows furrow, her face winces, and she tries to take a step back, and she actually kind of falls into Hannah as if she's looking for comfort there. There's nothing. There's an ice wall of Hannah there that is just completely ignoring the trauma that she's also going through right now. And then Hannah calls everyone to attention. The entire faculty section seats themselves at the same time. It's just like simultaneously, they all come down together. And you can see that everyone is looking just distant and cold and apathetic, except for Rue. Rue is not doing well right now. The tears are starting to run down her face, and she's biting the inside of her wrist, right where that Project Semicolon tattoo is. And it looks like she's starting to gnaw at that. As Hannah Downs says the following: any violation of the Miskatonic Shoreside Conservatory Student Code of Conduct may result in sanctions that include, but are not limited to, suspension or expulsion. Sylvia Whitehead, you have been found guilty of violation of several of these codes. You have conspired against the conservatory, and worst, encourage your fellow students to do the same. And then yesterday, you paralyzed one of our own. And for the first time, Hannah looks up and she actually sees you all on that front row. She sees you, Dallas. And she continues, we offered you everything and you denied us. We offered you a perfect gift, but you didn't want it. So we're taking it back. Your voice, and you guys all know that Sylvia was an opera singer. Your voice now returns to us. You don't belong here. We have come here for judgment, and I pass it now. Expulsion. You are hereby banished from the Miskatonic Shoreside Conservatory. At this point, Hannah steps forward and she goes and she takes a seat. Sylvia remains before the statue, confused and alarmed as she's looking left to right, thinking like, what does that mean? She's doing her best not to make eye contact with Dallas. She couldn't bring herself to look at August if she had a gun to her head. And as she's looking around, trying to figure out, does she rabbit? Does she stay? You notice that a bit of green blood starts trickling out of her nose, her ears, and even from the corners of her eyes. And she's rubbing her hands and she's looking down and she's fingering through this ichor. And she's convinced right now, okay, this is where I run. And right as the thought struck her, Alex, can you tee up the fountain one more time? The Mother Hydra and Father Dagon fountain begins to hum on a frequency that's akin to a computer monitor screaming. Sylvia begins to stagger and plead you guys in the front row and the front row of the faculty for help. She falls to her knees, she rises, and then she collapses again. She looks disoriented. She looks confused. She looks like she's in pain. And then come the screams, along with the rhythmic thrashing of the ocean waves in the background. The sea is back. The campus is turned on again, and all of you feel it. I mean, August, you're like, oh God, the violin, it works. Jamal, you're like, oh, the cards, I can actually read the cards again. Twee, you're just like, wait, no, if I can get back to that painting, I can fix it. Like the whole campus turns back on. And as Sylvia is falling to her knees before the statue and the air is just electrified with the sounds of her screaming, you notice that the rooms on the base of that fountain begin to flicker with light. And each flicker that appears to be some type of a psychic whip against Sylvia as she begins thrashing and she begins screaming. And you notice that as she starts screaming, she's not just screaming blindly anymore. She's screaming in a perfect key. She is running the scales, and every single time she hits a different note, there's something about the water in the basins in the fountain that splashes. And every time she hits the next scale, every time she hits the next note, she's losing the voice and the notes that came before it. The campus is taking her voice back. Now, I'm going to read this to you guys as it is in the scenario. Directors who have directors who have players willing to participate and support the narrative should encourage each player to describe an additional event that occurs to Sylvia during her expulsion. Sylvia has to survive the expulsion. That's the only rule. You can't kill her. Sylvia has to survive the ritual, but she suffers tremendously. Players who are open to participating in her torture are welcome to do so at this point. You can go as wild and as mythosy as you would like. You just can't kill her.
We will pat Dallas on the unfeeling leg. And she'll say, I'll be right back. And she walks down towards Sylvia and just winds up a backhand and just kisses it. Bow, and then doesn't even stick around to see the aftermath. She just walks away.
Okay.
Says nothing.
A smack catches her across the face. It spins her and turns her where she falls into the base of the statue. She cracks the side of her head. Blood starts pouring into the blood. The basins that are trickling with water appear to like that. The illumination of the rooms begin to flicker. And now she's got blood pooling down the side of her face as she is standing up. And you guys notice that Mother Hydra portion of the statue begins to like turn and twitch, and concrete begins to rubble as the neck is spinning to look at you, Twee. This is completely voluntary. You don't have to participate in her torture if you don't want to. But if you do, this is your moment.
Time for the violin.
Oh yeah, no, the violin starts up as soon as the computer monitor noise has started. I'm matching pitch with the fountain.
Okay.
And once it has essentially finished its running up the scales and everything, I will be playing the high and fast portion of this piece that I've been practicing over and over and over again.
Holy shit.
And the same thing has happened with Jamal, as he's also humming the same tone as well. So again, there's that unison between us. And for Sylvia, there comes a point where she looks over at Jamal, and it looks like his mouth has just become a giant gaping maw.
Oh.
And he's drawing in her voice into himself.
Oh, shit. Okay. Okay.
I'll take the gift if you don't want it.
Didn't plan for that one, did you?
And at the same time, his hand is just tightening around Dallas's, probably to the point where his stitches are starting to pop again, and there's blood on his hand.
Yes, Perry. Yes.
Oh shit. Okay. I'm going to reconcile those two before I get too far into other commotion here. August and Jamal, I need a 3d6. This is all the way across the board, please. This is your human, your occupation, and your insight. Now, before we read any aloud, I do want a quick check. August, what's your insight right now?
5.
Okay. Just so the audience at home knows, if August's insight goes up by 1, they are removed from the game. Jamal, what's your current insight?
4.
If Jamal's insight goes up by 2, or he hits a 6 on an insight roll, because we've been using 6 as a double down. We stole that from Rena. Jamal is out of the game. How'd you guys do?
6, 5, 5.
I tell you what, August. Didn't you hit a 665 on the amphitheater? Or a 655? You were close like this. It was these type of numbers again.
It was 644.
644. You're getting better. You're getting better. Okay. I'm going to give you a mythos-induced narrative. I'm going to give you description of this one. You can have it versus me giving it to you. Your highest die was not your insight die, so you don't have to worry about an insight check right now. Jamal, you hit a 241. You want to push it?
Sure.
Okay. That's just another
And
3d6, baby.
351.
351. 5 is beyond human competency on occupation. You are successfully stealing a gift back. Actually, you're not even stealing. You're just picking up something she left on the ground. She didn't want it, and you're picking it up. You can continue to push that if you would like to, but as of right now, you are successful.
Oh, I'm good with that.
You're good to go there. August, your human die saw beyond the veil. Your human die saw what should not be there. What is it that you saw while you were playing?
Oh, I saw the spirits that accompany the fountain reaching out towards Sylvia and physically ripping the sound from her vocal cords. Can see it tear like flesh. And while I'm playing, I can hear it. And I can feel it. My fingernails are being pushed up from the intensity of how hard I'm pushing on the strings right now. And I can feel the blood seeping out as I'm watching her voice literally being ripped from her body.
Holy shit. Dallas, you're not mandated to participate, but the floor is yours if you would like it.
I am feeling like a feverish passion and power and rage as this all goes on around me, and I'm just feeding on my friend's mixture of love and hate, and out of love for them and out of hate for this woman who has done this to me, I pull myself out of the bed with my arms, and I start using them as legs, and walk over to her, and I am not touching her, but I am like using my own gift. I am still dancing despite what she did to me. And I'm going to like spin on my arms and glare at her so that like my movements amplify my anger and let her feel my pain.
Okay.
Twee is going to follow after. She's going to carry Dallas back.
Okay. Dallas, that's a 3d6, baby. One more time for the people at home. What's your insight?
5.
Okay. You're 1 from being out the back door.
Bridget, I did not roll. Did you want me to?
All you did was backhanded her, right?
Yeah.
Nope, you're okay. A group insight check is coming, by the way.
Okay.
That's 6.
I got 6,
Oh.
5, and 3.
Shit. Okay. Well, at least your insight wasn't the highest of the 3. So your insight isn't challenged right now. But with a 6 as a human and a 5 is beyond human competency, and you are on your arms right now. Go ahead and give us narrative and give us what you see beyond the veil.
I am like balanced on my arms as confidently as if they were my legs, and my eyes are locked with Sylvia's. She
Oh my
cannot
God,
look.
and you're upside down from her too right now.
Yeah,
Ah!
she cannot look away from me. I am all that exists for her. My
Okay.
my anger, my frustration, my hurt is all that she can feel and think about. And I twist and whirl my body. It's just through the force of my own arms. My legs are still sort of like moving, but not through muscular power, just through kinetic energy. I am like learning how to throw my body back and forth so that they move as I want them to, so that I can use them as you might like ribbons or something like that. But it is a furious dance. It is like a storm. My body has become the storm traveling across the ocean, making a water spout of just like fury.
The thunderstorm from the boat.
The thunderstorm
Mhm.
from the boat.
Yep.
Okay. Alex, one more time, can you tee up that fountain to us as the Dagon statue begins to howl? Good luck, guys. I need an insight check. This is a single D6 from all of you.
Oh.
Buck. You guys want to read them off?
I love the collective looks that just happened.
Yeah.
Well, I got a 6.
Yeah. I got a 4.
I got a 5.
And I got a 1.
All right. Jamal, you were sitting at a 4, right?
4.
So
I'm
you
now
are
at
now up to
5.
5. August, you are okay. Twee, you are maintaining. This is not Bridget doing this to you. This is rules as written. That was an insight check for this entire expulsion event. That was coming no matter what. But several of you guys hit 6s in your arts, and we have to go back and reconcile those. So Dallas says doesn't matter anymore. August, you hit a 6 on that piece that you're playing right now. I need another insight roll from you, please.
No.
I know.
Four.
Okay. And that was it for my 6s. August hit a 6. We just reconciled that. Dallas hit a 6. Dallas, rules as written, you are now removed from the game. You are irreparably insane. You are displaced. You are gone. At this point, I will give you your own narrative. You can go death if you want to, or you can go some other full removal from the game, and you can interpret that however you would like.
I got sucked into the dance. I am no longer doing the dance. The dance is doing me. And it is just sort of like throwing my body out of control. I am like a cyclone. I am pulling myself into the core, and I am pulling Sylvia into it. It is like we are now inseparable. Our fates are bonded with each other. She feels my pain, and she feels my fear, and it is like no fear she has ever felt before. It is not like no fear that anyone ever knew could exist. and I lose consciousness of everything else, of my friends, of the school, of the sea, of everything, and just get pulled into that.
Twee, you're there when Dallasay eventually gives up the ghost and completely collapses on her arms in front of you. Sylvia hits the last note in that scale, and then she can no longer scream anymore. Rue explodes out of her chair, and she is running towards you, Dallasay, and Vincent Price, grabs her around the waist, spins her around, and is screaming at her, and she's screaming at him. Several of the other students are freaking out right now. Bahija is doing great. She's in tune. She's playing through her staples right now, so she's feeling pretty good about things. There are a few other students who are sitting back making comments like, yep, I'll never get expelled. Nope, that's just, nope, we're not going to do that. And then you have a couple students who are just like very slowly getting out of their chairs, and they are rabbiting back to their rooms. There's a lot of chaos. There's a lot going on. Dallasay is on the ground. Alex, I believe I teed up this handout for you. I need you to please give Jamal the handout that is called, I think it's Family First.
As Dallasay is on the ground, and Twee recognizes what's going on, since she's over there, what she'll do is she'll go run her hand in some of Sylvia's blood, and then go over to Dallasay and just run it across her entire face as she closes Dallasay's eyes.
Okay.
Jamal's right behind Twee and is just cradling Dallasay's head and beginning to sob.
August, anything to add on?
I will start playing Amazing Grace.
Oh, God, Jesus. That hurt my heart. Shit, that hurt my heart. You begin playing Amazing Grace. Your mother, she comes and stands before you. She steps over Sylvia, who is on the ground right now. Her eyes are fixed with Dallasay as they may be for all eternity, and she's muttering incoherently. She's seizing on the ground, and she's repeating some combination of Dallasay and sorry, just again and again and again. Hannah steps over her like she's a rug, but she does carefully move around Dallasay, and she stands next to you as you begin playing. And she looks over at you, and she looks over at the students that didn't run. And she says, Sylvia Whitehead snapped. Consumed with uncontrollable jealousy and unchecked rage, she viciously attacked several students. Before staff could respond, she had already paralyzed young Dallasay Aquino. Several other students, and she looks over her shoulder at the students that ran, names to be determined, also fell victim to her hatred. Several died. Some were maimed. And she looks at Bahija as she makes that statement. And we are very grateful for the selfless heroics of, and she just seeing all of you, looks over you, for subduing, she doesn't say a name, the selfless heroics of, for subduing Sylvia before she could cause more damage. Who amongst us is our hero? And she looks over at the student body.
Are you expecting us or?
Yeah, she's looking at either of you three or any of the other students. And if neither of you three volunteer to be the hero in this new narrative that they're going to be spinning out after the dust dies down, I'll have NPC stepped up.
I don't know what that means, but if it means I get to inflict more harm on Sylvia, then I'm in.
And I stand next to Twee.
I haven't moved from my chair, but I will stop playing and just look at the rest of my cabin.
Okay. Hannah looks to you, Twee, and she looks to you, Jamal, and she nods. And she says, "We're very grateful for our heroes." Alexander, when you get a chance, I need you to also give Twee the family first card. And if you want to, you can tee it up for the people at home so they can see it just from a game mechanic standpoint.
Where
She
is
doesn't
that?
she doesn't do anything else other than that, Twee and Jamal. She just says thank you for our heroes. But there's a longing that goes with it. Like, we're gonna cycle back to that the second we cycle back to some other things. And she looks at everyone. She says, "Thank you for attending the expulsion." And she begins to walk away. And the staff all stands in unison, including Rue. And they all slowly disperse in their own ways right now, leaving the student body there with Dallas on the ground, locked into whatever ocular combat with Sylvia and you guys.
So I'm going to put my violin down, and I am going to gently pull Dallas up off the ground.
I'll take the other side.
Okay.
And I'm going to put her directly into the fountain.
Okay.
It's where she should rest.
Okay.
Loving the curveballs tonight. Loving it.
Okay. You guys leave Dallas in the fountain. And something feels really right about that, August. Something feels good about that.
Probably be the linger just a moment and basically brush the waters across her face. May Mother Yemaya, Mother Hydra, Father Dagon, Father Oludamar, no, Olokun, bless your journey.
Oh, you're blending.
I just strike that across her brow with the waters before I go to join the others.
This is already with a bloody face paint that Twee is applied. Twee, you want to wrap up this thing? Because I'm going to roll you guys forward about 5 days.
Yeah. As everybody else leaves, I'm going to stay for a while. There's Dallas and I had an interesting connection, and she was a good collaborator for the short time that we were able to do so.
Mm-hmm.
So I think in this moment, like, there is I think for Twee in this moment, there's something very beautiful about this like strange non-burial in the fountain.
Yeah.
And she just kind of floats there. Dallas looks very serene. It's not a bloody scene at all, despite the blood on her face, but it's just she looks calm and, like, I wouldn't say happy, but content. And so that's kind of my lasting impression. I don't know that I would leave her there without another member of the faculty to, like, watch over her, but I would stick around until that happened. Yeah.
At some point, Princess will make her way back around, and it's very solemn. She just says, "I'm here now," and that's almost like your dismissal as well. But she will hand you Dallas's earrings as she dismisses you.
Okay.
So we're gonna roll 5 days forward. But I do have a question for Chris right now, our first out of the game. Would you like me to assign you an NPC, or do you want to help me co-GM as we finish off this campaign?
I don't know what's involved in the co-GMing.
I don't know. I've never done it before. We try it out in real time here. Or I can give you an NPC. It would probably be Bahija Mohammed. because she's been gravitating towards you guys for the last couple episodes.
I don't know. I hadn't like mentally prepared for either of those
I know, because
options.
you were going to be the last one standing. We know. You want to roll randomly?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll help you out with the GMing.
Okay.
To the extent that I can.
Okay. We'll rock out from there. I absolutely love it. Rolling forward 5 days, guys. What do these days look like for you?
I think for Twee, I mean, I would assume that normal classes kind of resume,
Mhm.
right?
Classes resume. The
All right.
campus picks back up. The campus is on again.
I would say Twee begins each day in the hot tub and ends each day in the hot tub. That's kind of like her way of like centering, getting ready for the day, and then like winding down from the day.
Okay.
I think she would be notorious for skipping dinner. After class, she would lock herself up in her studio and work. And she would, Alex, if you would, there's a piece called Thoughts Scraping in the Walls.
Oh, that's a terrible title. Ugh, God, I hate it. Oh, that's terrible.
But this is something that she would just kind of throw out there as a piece. Kind of like it's a little bit of a dichotomy. It's like the good times that she spent with Dallas A, and then like kind of the bloody times that led up to the end of Dallas A. So there's this yeah. So she would make that over the next couple of days.
Okay. Ugh. God, thought scraping from behind the walls. Jesus, that's terrible. Okay. Ugh. Jamal? August?
Jamal is now finding combining that skill from the saxophone playing with the songs and beginning to compose a vocal piece.
Oh.
Calling it The Movements of Dallas A.
Oh. Okay. August?
I put the devil's trill away.
Okay.
I find something new, something that's not so dark to work on.
Okay.
Or at least not quite to the same.
There'll probably be a few points where I will show you the piece that's being composed.
Yeah, and I'll probably I'll like help you with some of it, if nothing else. Like I'll be playing through it and you're like, oh yeah, that probably doesn't sound right. And do that during our downtime, I'm sure. And really just I'm probably going to be spending a lot of time sitting out like on the beach looking at the water. Sometimes I take my violin and play just idly, freeform, nothing really, just for extra sound, and sometimes not.
All three of you, Jamal, Twee, and August, you do recognize that Bahija is gravitating closer and closer around you. It's almost to the point, it's like at this point, you might as well just move in. But like she will, I don't know. Chris, co-GM, what are the things Bahija does to show respect, deference, and a form of grief to Captain C, who has lost Dallas A? Give me something that she is doing for all three of the people individually.
She is sort of catering to them. She is especially catering to their arts.
Oh.
She will bring to August, she brings strings and wax, to wax, to clean up the violin. You know, on request, she will even do these things for her.
Okay.
For Twee, you know, she makes sure that she has a supply of art equipment. On request, she will carefully help her get the blood. Only upon request. This is not something that she will do spontaneously. For Jamal, she will bring him the things he needs to take care of his voice. Bring him you know, liquids to drink, and hot towels and that sort of thing. And of course, you know, she is available upon request.
Bahija will never be Dallasay. She's not trying to be Dallasay. She's not trying to replace Dallasay or fill in that spot. But what she definitely wants to be, and it's very obvious to the three of you guys, is cabin C adjacent.
So at one point while working on the composition, and I'll clear this with August, I will invite her to be a trio as we practice this piece for Dallasay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So cello, violin, and vocalist.
Twee is going to hear this trio play, and it's going to evoke something nostalgic within her. And so she starts working on another piece. This will be her final piece. It's going to be called Riot Number 5.
Oh, God.
The Night We Set the Stars on Fire. So, Alex, if you want to put that up in the chat.
Alex's face. I know the people at home can't see it, but you went Riot Number 5 the day we set the stars on fire, and Alex was like,
But here's the thing. This is the last of my blood that I'm putting into this painting. Like, this is it. So all the red you see is just pure blood. It's not even paint.
Okay.
And so this is my ode to the night that Dallasay and I first had our whirling dervish of a connection.
okay. Y'all know what I'm about to ask for, right?
Mm-hmm.
The campus is turned back on. I'm going to allow you to roll here, Chris, for Bahija. This is just a 2d6. Same with you, August. Same with you, Jamal. Twee, you're fucking around with your blood again. That's a 3d6 for you, baby.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Ooh.
Okay, let's see how we're doing.
Could I push that?
You can push it in. You listen. Hell yeah, you can push it. Really fast, just for the people at home, so they can get in on the stress and anxiety. Can you guys read us your rolls?
4 and 1.
Okay. And now I'm
3
going to
and
ask
3.
now, really fast. Are you pushing? Or are you satisfied with the 4 here, August?
No, I'm satisfied with the 4.
Okay. Jamal, sorry.
3 and 3. I'm
Okay.
good with this because it's also new skills or converting of new skills.
It's new skills. You're learning. All right. We're going to.
I got a 3, a 6, and a 1.
This is the best painting you've ever done. Riot Number 5 is amazing for you. We're going to cycle back to you in a second. And Bahija, how did you do, baby?
I got a 1 and a 4.
1 and a 4. So with a new vocalist and a competent violinist, she's playing her cello well enough. It's just a challenge because she's in that wheelchair and she's about sawed through her leg at this point. But Bucho, something in your artistry sees through the veil. Before you even give me the description, let's see if the description you're about to give us kills you. I need your insight check, please. Just a single D6. What's your insight score right now?
4.
Okay. Don't hit a 6. Woo!
That's a sexy ass 3.
That's the sexiest ass 3 I've ever seen. Okay, you see beyond the veil, but it doesn't affect your insight, but you are still mythos behind the veil. Tell us what the hell is going on with riot number 5, the night we set the stars on fire.
So this piece is made by daubing paper towels and paint, so it gives a little bit of contour to the canvas.
Okay.
Right. The red part is the blood for sure, but the paper towel gives it texture.
Okay.
And as I'm doing all of this, it's almost like Dallas is dancing on the back of my hand. And she's kind of controlling where the daubing goes. And so this becomes our painting rather than just my painting.
Okay.
So there's some of that like passion that comes through the veil. She's not speaking to me, but she's speaking to me.
Yeah,
You know
she's
what I mean?
dancing across your fingers.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Okay. And your insight does not go up. You guys are on the last 3 days of your time here at the Miskatonic Shoreside Conservatory. And you know you have a final performance coming up. Your mentors, staff, Hannah, Rue, everyone has alluded to it, but no one has told you exactly what it is. Other than it starts at dusk. Expulsions are at dawn. What they're calling the choices of the chosen starts at dusk. So if you guys are looking at mid-morning, you guys know that you have to come in your finest attire that you brought with you, and that they need everyone at the amphitheater at dusk. Anything else you guys want to do campus-wide before we move to choices of the chosen? Your final audition.
I think with Dallas gone, and with
That hurts.
yeah, and with Cabin C kind of more coagulated after the events. It's a bad word to use, but you know what I mean.
Terrible word choice.
I think Twee is just kind of ready to go. Like it's been a good experience, but she's ready to move on to bigger and better things. Like she came, she experienced it, she's ready to do it. Like she's all in.
Okay. Anything else before we walk into this final audition? August and Jamal and Bahija?
Nothing here.
Okay.
I will actually go back to that picture that Jamal showed me before,
Yeah.
just
In
to
the Hall
look
of
at it again.
Memories?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not after anything. I don't want to try to essentially make it back to that party. I just want to look at it for looking at it and seeing everyone who's there. So I probably only stay briefly,
Okay.
10 or 15 minutes at most. I just don't want to risk having to face my mother in a time when she was much younger again. Because she probably wasn't, that much older than me in that picture.
No, not at all. So you look at the picture. It's a nice photo.
Yeah.
The black robes lining the back of the wall is still kind of weird, but it's been a weird 30 days for you guys. But you do notice, just the closer you look at the picture, your mom in the front row, you do recognize that she has a little bit of discoloration on her cheek and her cheekbones and her chin bone. Just that could be just the light playing with it, or it could be bruising from that backhand that she got the last time you were in that photo. Okay,
yeah.
guys.
That's it. That's the only thing I do.
Okay.
A lot of backhanding going on in this game.
A lot of backhanding and the destroying of phones.
Man, look, when you're good at something, you just keep doing it.
When you're good at something, you keep
I
going.
mean, it's like no one in this game just like gives someone a knuckle sandwich or anything.
Backhands and destroying the phones.
It's a little hard at the moment.
Yeah. So starting in the same order that we do introductions and outros, Bucho, give me an idea of Twee's demeanor, what she's wearing, and what she's bringing to her at this final performance, this final audition is Choices of the Chosen, where you have to meet at the amphitheater.
Sure, that's a good question. I think Twee's demeanor is not cold, but very stoic.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's done, she's ready. Let's do this. As far as what she's wearing, I would say that she has splashed her combat boots with red paint. And she's gone with I'm gonna say like a white sundress.
Oh God, with the red painted combat boots. Okay.
There's that, but as an homage to Dallas, she has the earrings on. And she's also got kind of a I don't want to call it a sash, but it's like she's got like this red like long
Scarf
thing, like a scarf, kind of.
Yeah.
It's a little wispier than that, but yeah. And so that's her outfit for the final moment.
Okay. Jamal?
So Jamal is wearing the outfit that he was wearing in the painting. The blue and white
Wispy
vest
sash.
with vests, the
Ooh.
dark pants, the blue shirt with the tie, and this time he's going to put on sort of a blue scarf head wrap.
I like that. Oh, I like that. Okay. Chris, how's Bahija looking tonight?
Bahija is looking very very simple in sort of a formal dark, sort of midnight dark blue dress.
Okay.
The sort of thing that you would wear when you don't want to sort of like call so much attention to yourself. You want them to listen to your music rather than look at you.
Yeah.
But sort of like simple and elegant and respectful.
I like that. And then August, what are you wearing to your final audition?
You're muted.
Of course I'm muted.
Um,
I'm probably wearing the same thing that I wore to like every audition I've had.
Okay.
Which is really just a casual suit. So like I'm not like wearing like a vest or
Mhm.
but like I have like a blazer and I have a tie and everything else, and I'll take off the blazer to play and everything, but I come nicely dressed without being like, oh, in full like, performance tails and everything.
Yeah.
Just it's basically a level of professional that you would do for any audition, basically, is how I come dressed. And it's it's a matching dark blue pants and blazer with a powder
Ooh.
blue shirt underneath and a slate gray tie.
Oh, slate gray tie. That's hot. Okay. As the evening progresses on, Rue will collect the three of you, but of course, directly behind Rue is Bahija. Rue is wearing an absolutely knockout, gorgeous, skinny black cocktail dress. And she has these really long, really high black heels that she is not wearing to walk across campus. So she has those like strung across her fingers and she's just walking barefoot. She seems better. She seems better. She's still grieving Dallas A. She's actually still grieving Sylvia Whitehead, but she's better. and she is going to walk you all cabin C. You can see various other staff members collecting different cabins. You do notice that cabin A that Bijahija is from, her two other roommates were the ones that rabbited. You have not seen them, either of those two students, since the expulsion. And no one is talking about them either. They ran away and no one is talking about them. No one has seen them. Bahija isn't even talking about them. Just no, I haven't seen them.
Good, good.
Yeah. So Rue leads you all to the amphitheater, and surprisingly, there's nothing happening at the amphitheater. It's starting to get dark. All the rows have been lit with like those little small tea candles, but it's like illuminating the entire arch of the seating. So whatever's happening, you're not performing at the amphitheater. And that's because Rue leads you around to the very back of the amphitheater where there's a massive steel maintenance door that's currently propped open. And she leads you past the door into a small antechamber, then stairs that wind up leading down. I'm just going to continue again with description. Feel free to interrupt me, or if you're like, nah, fuck this shit, I'm leaving, just let me know. I'm just going to start reading. You guys let me know if you just need to interrupt me at any point. Jared really did do such a great layout on this. Jared, if you're watching, you did a really great layout on this. Just running from it is just super easy the way you laid it out. You guys go past this massive steel door marked maintenance, and you guys are led down a dark spiral staircase. The stairwell is dimly lit with ongoing strings of blue and green Christmas lights, and it's giving the entire staircase that you're spiraling down that aquatic underwater aquarium ocean feel that especially you, August, and Jamal are very used to from your frequent trips into the Hall of Mirrors or the Hall of Memories. At the base, there is a massive underground chamber. The room is dimly appointed with that same aquatic aquarium feel, and there are dozens of circular tables and tablecloths that have actually been pushed to the corners of this room, and they're draped in fabric. It looks like they're out of use right now. But as you guys come into this massive underground chamber, you recognize that the entire wall, one of the entire massive walls, has been completely knocked out, and you're sitting behind this thick sheet of glass that opens you out into the ocean. So you're literally underground at the back of the amphitheater looking at ocean in this massive chamber. A staff member somewhere in the darkness begins to pull a stone wheel, and slowly, crunchily, a huge platform begins to rise from the center of the floor of this interior chamber. Once it's at its desired height, about a foot from the ground, you guys can see on this ancient circular stone tablet that there are more of those runes, the same runes that are on the fountain, that are on the dam's dog collar, that are on the top of the amphitheater. There are runes all over this circular platform that has just risen from the ground. The entire staff is here, including all of your professors. Zach Langley is seated on the ground. He's in his black attire, but he's throwing a tennis ball across the room. It bounces, it hits the glass. Something stirs in the water from the bounce, and the dog, Royer, runs, gets it, shakes it, runs back to him. And right now, it just appears that everyone's just kind of milling about and talking. However, the more you look out of that glass, you see beings out there. And Chris, I will tee you up versus me reading what I have. Tell me what the deep ones are doing from their audience chamber outside of the glass looking in. Tell me what they look like. Tell me what they're doing.
Well, it is really hard to describe what the deep ones look like without driving the entire the entire game. And to be honest, all of the people watching this on Twitch are mad, so I will, ease up a little bit on the specificity of my descriptions. But briefly, they are graceful, even if they don't look like what you would expect them to look like, or even if they don't look like something you would ever have imagined existing. universally scaly with large eyes, well suited to seeing underwater. Sort of like with, if you look closely, you can see that they each have like sort of a clear, transparent lid that moves over the surface of the eye, protecting it from the depths. Their hands are webbed, and just kind of like help them project. And they are looking at each of you curiously, as if kind of the way that you would expect people to be looking at the fish at SeaWorld or something like that. Except that it's the reverse. As though they can like remember having seen dry, mushy things like this before, but
Ew.
not really often enough for them not to be strange and a little bit disturbing.
Woo! Insight checks across the board, please. Good luck.
God damn it.
I don't know what you want from me.
I know. Nice.
Okay, you guys want to read them off?
Jamal has a 6.
Jamal has a 6.
I have a 5.
And I have a 3.
Okay, you guys are maintaining. Chris, can you go ahead and roll for Bahija, please? She's sitting on a 5 insight. She might just flat out start playing her leg at this point. Hey, she made it with the 3. Jamal, I'm gonna tee you up. You tee me up because you're getting ready to walk out of the game. As my co-GM, Chris so eloquently put, you're the fish, you're the porpoise, you're the creature, you're the attraction. Currently right now inside of your little underground aquarium for these creatures that are gracefully swimming back and forth. And the creatures seem to move on the glass, those webbed hands touching the glass, pushing themselves off, swimming out of sight, coming in. And you notice that there are a pair that seem to be not flittering around and having the time of their lives, but seem to be focused on you. And they just keep inching closer and closer, one from the top, one coming straight open, to the point that they're just on the glass. And no matter where you move, they move with you. No matter where you move, they move with you. And they're staring at you, they're staring through you. You're suspended there, absolutely mortified by whatever it is that you're looking at. And the second you pay more attention to one than the other one, they begin to fight. The one just kind of comes and slams down, and there's this combat that is happening as like one of them just swings the other one around and crashes the back of its head into the glass, and then it pushes it down so it can stare further at you. And the second you start making more contact with that one, then and this fight keeps going back and forth. I'm going to tee you up for narrative as you are going completely insane or dying is your option. You just walked out the game.
So I will approach the glass and just gently tap on it rhythmically.
Okay.
In the song, in the tone of the lullaby.
Okay.
Calming them.
Okay.
And just in that same low, when Twee had started scratching themselves, I'm just going to go into that again, that throat hum, and just begin to try to translate low frequency through the glass to them. And just giving the impression is like, I'm coming to you. I'm coming to you. I will be with you. I will be part of us. Our family will be together.
You continue tapping on the glass and you notice that that's calming them. And suddenly they've got, 2 hands apiece and they're there and they're just moving on the glass, watching you, swaying with you, moving with you. And you begin to rock and you begin to sway. And that's when whatever not humanity was left inside of you, but whatever tether you had onto this reality completely snaps. It shatters. It becomes untethered. It becomes unhooked. You become unhinged. Um, and you know, the second you're allowed out of this aquarium, you have to go to them. You don't belong here anymore. You belong with them. And somehow you also know that that's suicide. You know that that's your death. But hey, your family is here. And they promised that you would be together. You just have to get to them. You just have to get to them.
So there'll come a point where I will go up to August and give them the composition of the Dalisay. Find someone worthy to sing my part.
I will. And I will be confused because I don't know why I'm getting this right now.
And then I will go up to Twee and offer up the fist bump first,
Oh, the lobster fist bump.
and then embrace her with a hug. After which I will go and hug Rue, and then present myself to Hannah, bowing, with the message, it's time for me to be with my family and the ancestors.
Rue hugs you, and she puts her hand on either side of your cheeks, and she kisses you platonically on the lips, and then she kind of head bumps you, and she says, "I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You'll be with your family soon."
That's all I've ever wanted. And I think I'll be watching for the next ones. And then I'll go to Hannah. And then I'll go to Hannah.
And as you go to Hannah, and you said you were kneeling before, she's actually going to take a knee where she's parallel with you, and she looks you she looks into your eyes, you're looking at hers, and you can see for the first time that those striking blue eyes she has almost look aquatic in a way, that there's water moving in there. There are things swimming in the veins of her eyes, and she smiles at you and she says, Vincent will take you home now.
I'll follow him. Thank you for everything.
You're
And
welcome.
please take care of my grandmother.
I give you my word. And Vincent, who has been the one turning that stone platform, comes out, and he, in all of his asshole glory, looks to you, and he looks impressed. And he goes, "Not bad, kid. Come on."
I'll follow him.
And the last thing you guys hear, before Hannah begins speaking, is that sound of that metal door closing somewhere above you. I cannot wait to go back through the chat and see if anybody got this body count correct or this order correct.
Yeah, I'm on track to win right now.
Are you on track right now? I'm impressed. Okay.
I'm two for two, baby. Two for two.
Okay. All right. We'll see how you guys do, because the inside checks are getting ready to roll big time here in about 30 seconds.
Bring it. Let's do
Bring
it.
Let's do it. Bring it, daddy. Okay. You guys are standing there, the door is shut, and you have all said goodbye to yet another member of Cabin C. Jamal is out of the game and soon to be very, very, very dead. Drowned, I should say. Once everything settles downstairs, Hannah Downs directs Princess Achebe to bring out one Marisol Priest. Alex, if you have her, she was way early in the game. Can you please populate the handout of Marisol Priest? If you guys remember Marisol from 4 episodes ago, this is the young woman from Elevated Arts that was attempting to get you guys to turn on the campus. This is the young woman that paid Sylvia Whitehead $10,000 to spy on you guys and to feed information back. What she's doing here in this basement right now is beyond all of you. And as you're looking at Marisol Priest being dragged out by Princess Achebe, you realize, like, oh. and you get the first inkling on what you're expected to do. Princess brings Marisol Priest out. She is gagged, handcuffed, and she is brought down before her knees before Heather Downs or Hannah Downs. She is muffling. She is spinning about. She's trying to get up. The good doctor is pushing her back down, and eventually Hannah just waves a hand over the top of her head, and she kind of goes into this torpor, suspended compliance. And Director Downs states evenly, welcome to your final audition, students. We are expecting great things from you. You have experienced heartbreak. You have experienced loss. However, if you show your dedication now, I can promise you that the rewards will be well worth it. We ask one single thing of you. We ask you to present to us, all of us, and she like grandly motions to all of the humans in this room and all of those aquatic creatures on the outside of the glass. And at this point, they're all coming in close or emerging. They're like almost like pack-like fighting each other for better views, except for those two that had joined themselves with Jamal. They have long swum off. And she grandly motions to the room, especially the creatures outside the glass, and says, your gifts. I offer you the following story, the following prompt to guide your imaginations. This woman beneath me, and Dana Downs, like, pats her on the head a couple of times. This woman would take everything from you, from us. And that is something that we simply cannot allow. So for your audition, I ask you to create, compose, design, sing, dance, a creation of your own titled Killing Marisol. And then she steps back and she ushers you all to hop onto that platform and to choose a single rune, which you can't read. But as soon as you choose your rune, I will ask you to describe either the phrase or the word that you inherently know when you stand upon it.
Could you say that again? I want to make sure I understand this correctly.
Yeah. So that metal platform that has risen, a foot off the ground, there are runes carved into it, runes that you can't read. I just need you to tell me whether you're hopping on the platform and choosing a rune. And if so, tell me what that rune says. Basically translate the rune. You can't translate it now, but there's something about being in this place. You can just sense it, like, okay, this one is love, or this one is like vengeance at all costs, or this one is whatever. And just tell me what the title of your rune is.
Yeah, I think mine would be, I would step on one and it would be vengeance, because at this point I understand that this woman is inherently responsible for Sylvia, who is responsible for Dallas dying. Like 6 degrees of I'm gonna murder this bitch. That's what it is. Yeah. So Twee is back in vengeance mode.
Okay. In her white dress and red spattered.
Yeah, she gives no fucks. She came ready for tonight.
Okay. Twee stands upon vengeance.
And obviously I'll be getting on the platform. Why not?
Oh yeah, why not? You're here.
The rune that I stand on is family ties.
Holy shit, that's deep on so many different levels. Okay. Okay. You stand on family ties. Okay. Hey Chris, what's the name of the rune that Bahija stands on?
Protection.
Protection. That is beautiful for her. The water begins to swirl and turn as the creatures out there become more agitated. They get more excited. Something exciting is about to happen. And this exciting thing that's about to happen is you. At some point, as they're moving around and catching on the glass, you notice like a ball of them kind of rolls around, and there has to be 6, 7, 8 of them. Have you guys ever seen like the nature shows where you have a ball of snakes that are all fucking, that are mating? It's one of those. That's just the excitement and the anticipation, and Alex's face is amazing. Just rolls across the glass as everything in this room becomes, extremely heightened, and you can recognize this smile just cross across Jeremy Leitner's lips. Of course, you can just enjoy that one. And here is what I'm going to tell you guys about your performance of killing Marisol. And then you guys are going to jump into some really thick narrative and start making a lot of insight checks. As your descriptions, your artistic descriptions take form, the reality should shift between a performance reality in which they are creating their art and the actual murder of Marisol Priest. So repeating this again, you guys are conducting your art in a split screen while simultaneously murdering Marisol Priest of Elevated Arts. I am going to start with you, Bucho. Tell me about this blended experience between painting and murder.
I think the canvas in my particular room is stark white. And I think there is an X-Acto knife. And I am able to, in the canvas, kind of trace a picture. But as I'm tracing it, little drops of blood start dropping down from the cuts. And so I just continue with the light X-Acto cut, and I just swirl it all over the canvas, and I just watch as the blood trickles down.
Okay.
And as it trickles down, I will take both fingers and kind of run them along the bottom of the canvas and then streak my cheeks. Like the war paint I gave Dallas after she died.
The platform that you guys are on, it kind of jumps and toggles just a bit as Marisol's being, her person, is just kind of like haphazardly thrown onto it like a bag of trash being thrown out of a moving vehicle. And when she rolls around and comes to a start, she begins hyperventilating and crying because now she is out of that torpor effect that Hannah had on her, and she's screaming as she's attempting to stand up. She's almost like suspended onto the ground, and just this thin red line of tissue separating starts working around the outside of her face, the outside and inside of her fingernails, up the inside of her arms, as if she's actually being opened up along the outsides. August, how are you combining this violin and murder?
Mentally, I already had a name for the piece in mind, which is called Separation of Souls.
Shit. Okay.
And it is a series of almost long, mournful strokes, like almost like a funeral dirge that will come in succession, and then there are lots of sudden high fast notes that happen, and it is this mixed pattern with no real particular melody and no real particular tempo, and the long notes cause a physical agony. It makes her organs twist inside her, and all of the little notes pierce her brain that almost feel like needles going in just every time they hit.
Holy shit. There are several other students who are on their own runes performing in different ways, and however they're manifesting are also affecting Marisol, as she is being tortured to death on this platform as you guys are continuing performing. I just need my two surviving characters to please roll me just a d6. Don't worry, this is not an insight yet. You're getting ready to roll another one here in a second, but it's just a d6. Woo! Woo! It was just a d6, thank God. Oh, God. Whew. Okay, August, who hit this 6? You have fully converted to the cult of Cthulhu. You see past the deep ones in the water and can sense the transparent and tangible strands of power, connectiveness, almost like spider webs dancing through the water, almost like Dallas dancing through the water. You can see the physical manifestations of Cthulhu's dreamings. Elements from your past join them in the room, which means your mother is probably going to wind up populating in this room. Allow the player, if they do decide, to describe 2 additional mythos events that are occurring in this room.
Okay, so, if my mother manifests in this room, she better fucking be not in eyesight. Because, fuck if I won't turn my piece on her.
Maybe you should.
Maybe I should.
You'll see now.
So as I'm doing the piece, I'm also moving around the room, which is not something I typically do when I play. And with every step that I'm taking around this room, the building shakes. It's a rumble up from under the ground.
Holy shit.
And the steps are very deliberate, and they are in time with these needles that are being driven into her head. And they are no longer needles. They have morphed into ice picks.
Oh, God. Okay. Whew. You get 2. You want to take a second one? You teed me up, so I'm going to tease you. You can ignore it or not. I don't care. But you do recognize that your mother, some vision of your mother. You don't know if it's actually physically her. It's really weird. You're suspended in between your first murder and the best performance of your life. But you do see at least a projection of her appear. And she is very intentionally working her way around staff to make sure she cannot be in the front while you're performing. You can take that or leave it, but you get a second mythos event.
Well, you gave it to me, so I'm going to take it.
Oh, taking a run, baby.
So all of the, with me moving around and this rumbling coming up from the earth, and my attention partially divided now because I see her moving. Every time that I am stepping, it is with intention to make her fall.
Oh, shit. So the room rumbles and she collapses. She falls. She tumbles into a table, a wall.
Yes. And the notes also divide so that all of the high notes are still going into this reporter's skull, these ice picks that are piercing over and over again. But all of these low, long, drawn out notes are forcing her to be in as much physical agony as emotional agony as I've been in my life.
Holy shit. Okay. That is brutally gruesome on Marisol, and your mother cannot escape you. There's nowhere in this room that she can hide, that she can't come out of the stumble of this experience of just being humbled by you again and again and again. Twee, you rolled a 3, so I have a question for you. From Twee's perspective, she's doing 2 things simultaneously. She is creating one of the most beautiful pieces she has ever birthed. She's also committing her very first murder. And this isn't just like, this is like calculated, premeditated torture murder. Of these 2 realities, which reality would she prefer to stay in?
The creative one.
Okay.
I
Highest...
think.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I think she would want to stay in, like, she would recognize the anger that she could inflict on Marisol, but I think the creative side of her will almost always outweigh the vindictive side of her, or the vengeful side of her. Like, it's a more pure thing, if that makes sense.
No, that does.
Not like it's a good thing. It's the more pure feeling.
It's the more pure feeling.
Yeah.
So we're going to dirty that up because you rolled a 3.
Yeah.
The investigator is fully aware that they are complicit in the murder of Marisol. However, they are unable to successfully navigate between their 2 realities. They are trapped and must live out the duration of this experience. They are trapped and must live out the duration of this experience in the reality that they do not wish. You're trying so hard to connect with the painting, but the only thing you can actually do right now is continue carving up Marisol. I need an insight check. Oh, go ahead.
So I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Could I play my family first card on myself?
I don't know. Let's find out.
I mean, probably not.
Probably not. It's a no. It's a no on this one, unfortunately. I love the idea of it, but it's a no on this one.
Yeah,
that's I'm gonna make you sit there in your uncomfort. Woo. Okay. You two, I need an insight check from both of you.
Okay.
Good luck.
Oof. Okay. Wow. Okay.
That's a 2 for Twee and a 3 for August.
We're still here. We're still here.
Can I push that?
Yeah, fuck yeah, you can push it. For you to push it, you just have to risk your insight. So you roll a 2d6.
Oh,
no. Oh.
A 4 and a 2. Apparently murder looks really good on you.
Yeah, it does.
And your insight is not challenged.
That's
you
why.
Want to push it again? Rules is written. You can push in Cthulhu Dark as much as you want.
Why not?
Okay.
Oh!
I'm gonna screenshot it. I'm gonna screenshot it. Holy shit! I'm screenshotting it. Bucho, please tell the audience what you just rolled, and then walk your ass off my table, please.
I rolled double 6s, so I'm basically fucking dead. That's what happened. Twee is out and still winning the Deadpool. Not even trying to do that, but I've won the Deadpool.
I don't believe you for a moment when you're saying, you.
But I love it so much. Oh my God.
Here's the thing. I really wanted Twee to go on and do the mentorship, and this takes me out of that. So, yeah.
This takes you out of everything, baby. Please walk that character out of the game.
I think with this, I think as Twee continues to carve into the canvas and see the blood begins to kind of coat her arms and her hands. And I really feel like she gets lost in the fibers of the canvas. Like she goes from macro to micro very quickly.
Oh God.
And so she's just in there. Like it goes from this to
oh God,
this. And so she is now forever carving out a thing on behalf of Dallasay. Her vengeance note that never ends.
August. Oh, actually, just really fast, Chris. Let's see if August walks off here with a friend. Can you roll an insight for Bahija, please? She's got a 5.
Boom.
You want to take Bahija out of the game, Chris, for me?
Oh
no. Bahija hit a 6.
Okay. Bahija is just getting sort of like drawn down into the horror of this whole scene, and it is becoming part of her music, and her music is becoming part of the horror. And she just keeps on embracing that in that same cycle. She keeps on like playing her cello, and because she will always do anything to protect the school, to protect her family.
August, at the end of all of this, the entire chamber swells with the intoxicating effects of music and artistry and song and dance. And by the time you come to, you are exhausted, you are panting, you are covered in sweat and blood, but you are standing to the ovation of the entire faculty body, the students that didn't lose their life here on this platform, and all of the deep ones outside. You feel sleepy. You are overstimulated from this hybrid experience. And Rue kind of just like gently, cheek kisses you as she moves by you. And she puts this long black sheet over Marisol's body. And she smiles patiently and proudly. And she looks to you and the rest of the students and she says, "Welcome to the family." And as you look down, Bahija has finally successfully found out how to play the muscle tissue on the inside of her leg. And Twee has finally discovered that the true way to artistry is not necessarily through blood, but through skin. And that entire meticulous action that she was, working on Marisol before, she has found it on herself. And she becomes her own canvas in death. That is the end of the Miskatonic Shoreside Conservatory. With one single player left, August, I will give you your opportunity to do your sunset scene. Let me give you this one really fast. A couple days later, there's a closing ceremony. Hannah Downs could not be prouder of how far all of the investigators have come, especially you. Her eyes just well and fill with joy every time she looks upon you. You are gifted personally from her a cloak, a tome, and a few other little trinkets and things of that nature. You did not participate in the prank, right?
Oh no,
Jeff's
I
Pond
did.
prank.
Oh no,
well, you have to
that I didn't.
You didn't. Okay. Any player who survived this far and did that prank gets to put something back in the lake for a future player to pull out. So you didn't participate in the prank. So this is your sunset scene, babe, and this is also the end of the campaign. Talk us through it.
So if there's like a kind of like a final performance for all the students who survived and everything else, I'll get to play the Devil's Trail again, probably at peak performance, the best I've ever played it. It's the piece that people probably had heard me playing during class and everything, but they get to see it live and see it in all of its glory. And I imagine that I take as many pictures with Hannah as I can, given that she is my new family. And I will thank her profusely over and over again for letting me join her family, and for being a support system that I didn't realize I had, and all of this other stuff, and offer to her any services that she might need from me as far as,
killing people.
Yeah. As far as murder.
It's murder.
Right.
No, on my resume.
Also, if she needs like any volunteer counselors for future training camps and everything, I am more than happy and willing, given that I have survived, to come back, and that all she has to do is ask.
Well, she says, we are thinking about opening up a satellite campus in Florence. If you're interested in going to Italy, that is. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where our show ends for the night. Woo! Thank you so much to everyone who has joined and or is currently watching the replay. You are indeed the best part of waking up, and we sincerely appreciate you. This is the official conclusion of the Miskatonic Shoreside Conservatory, and in the hands of such brilliant players that I have, the content went way off the rails. There are so many unexplored areas, encounters, entanglements, and experience that they didn't hit, and it doesn't matter because it's Cthulhu Dark, and they leaned into the narrative, and they did an absolutely brilliant job. But if you're one of those meticulous people and you want to know everything that they missed, feel free to pick up the scenario on Drive-Thru RPG. Alex, can we do the drawing, please? Alex is like, oh, God, you murdered the whole table.
Nah, somebody got to move, but you killed a fourth PC, so I guess it counts.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, let's draw some winners here. For the hardcover copy of Miskatonic Shoreside, what are you doing, computer? Cooperate.
What are you doing, computer?
Hold, please.
Holding.
Holding.
Hold, please.
Holding.
Holding more.
Steady.
Holding.
Steady.
Steady.
Okay.
Oh my God, Red Leader 5, let's go. Fuck.
Our producer
Stay
is
on
losing
target.
insight.
Stay on target.
Janda 100 wins the hardcover copy of Miskatonic Shoreside Conservatory.
Hey, Janda 100. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. I'm gonna throw my email into the chat. If you are still present, what? Janda's still here. Janda, I'm getting ready to throw my email in the chat. Just email me and be like, "Hey, I'm Janda," and then shoot me your address, and I will get this in the mail for you tomorrow. So when is my email? symphonyentertainmentga@gmail.com. There you go, Janda. Thank you so much for joining in, baby.
And then the winner of the copy of Cults of Cthulhu is one
Hey!
whole ass Michael Diamond.
Mike D with your bad self-running
Michael
things.
Diamond.
Mike D with your bad wealth onion rings. All
Holy
right.
shit. A whole ass Michael Diamond. Congratulations, Mike.
A whole ass Michael Diamond.
That's
I'm
a
going to send
whole ass
him
Michael
some
Diamond.
worn panties as well. Because that man, he got a silky ass voice.
Oh gosh. If you guys are not like familiar why we're all like fan girling, boing, and dane all over Michael Diamond, go listen to him on the Old Ways podcast and get your whole life turned out, and you will completely understand.
You know, a whole lot of things turned out.
Listen, it's a whole ass Michael Diamond.
Mike Diamond has requested that we roll again because he already owns it.
Oh.
And a whole ass Mike Diamond is generous. You see that?
Oh, this motherfucker owns the leatherette copy. Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Of course he does. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
signed by Mike Mason.
Signed by
Yeah,
Mike
you're good.
Mason. Yeah, fuck that dude. Yeah.
Nah.
Not Mike. Like,
But Mike
Michael
Diamond.
D. Michael D.
Oh,
Yeah.
Michael D. Yeah.
All
All right, so we're rolling again for Cults of Cthulhu.
I win Cults of Cthulhu.
Congratulations.
Hey.
Congratulations to Symphony's producer on your Gold Any award-winning copy of Cults of Cthulhu.
I'm here for it.
Bucho, Alex, I'll let you guys handle all those logistics. Fuck me, get in line, baby. It's a long ass line. The cast and crew are going to take a brief break, and then we're going to come back for our post-symphony gala. Guys, if you don't know what that is, this is Patreon-only content where we come back like 5 minutes after the episode, and we sit down and we go, what the just happened? Oh my goodness. We talk about the experience. We talk about ourselves. We talk about our content. We show our pets if they're available. The talkbacks for this campaign have been absolutely top shelf, and I cannot wait to hear cast and crew's impressions of this episode. They have been so dope. Oh, so again, if you want access to that content, you do have to be a backer. Excuse us. You can back us on patreon.com/Symphony Entertainment. Again, due to travel logistics, I am going to be taking a break from our main content. I'll be picking up at the end of October with a Cross the Strings special guest crew that's going to be coming in and running some, I will tell you this much, some Call of Cthulhu. So before we empty out the auditorium, let's go around one more time and say goodnight to our symphonic cast. Give us your name, where to find you, and what you do.
Good night, symphonic cast. My name is Bucho. Still unable to turn down the volume on a second monitor when I open up a new browser. You can find me at Instagram. My username is @TheRealPinkManther. You can find literary news, art projects that I'm working on. You can find new flyers for gigs that are happening here on Symphony Entertainment's Twitch channel. You can also see home renovations, other stupid things like me going out every once in a great while. Yeah, so that's where you can find me. Also, you can find me in a few of the previous Hometown Horrors Symphony Sonata episodes, which have become more like B movies, I think. I was thinking about that in the shower today. I think they're more like B movies than they are like horror. Because they're so bad that they're great.
Yeah.
And so you'll find me in a few of those upcoming. Also a couple of other things that are upcoming, hopefully. So we have some fun shit happening on Symphony Entertainment in the next few months. So that's where I can be found.
Hey, I'm with Mike Diamond because I thought about it when you said it. So you be thinking about symphony content in the shower? Perry, hit us, baby.
I got that good loofah, baby.
Good loofah. My God.
Well, thank you everyone for watching. I'm Perry Clark, licensed marriage and family therapist. And while you did see me take my own character's own life, it is also something that we understand that we have organizations out there that support the aspects of those who are suicidal. Otherwise, when I'm not playing games and finding my way, a way to die in it, I am a licensed practice therapist here in the Silicon Valley of California. You can find my practice at similar names, Untangling
Yeah.
Joy Counseling. Otherwise, you can catch my podcast, Untying Knots, Minds and Souls Untethered, on most platforms. And next week's episode, which will be opening, is with Stephen Barnes, author of The Eightfold Path, where there is talking about Buddhism, but there's definitely some horror stories inside of it as well. So check it out.
That's going to be dope. I'm looking forward to listening to that episode. Chris?
I'm Chris Hall. I have been, driven to madness and death by our beloved Bridget Jeffers. But let's see. I am at an undisclosed location in the San Francisco Bay Area, where I am a part-time Jedi with a performing troupe by the name of Lux Saber Corps. I'm a writer, an editor, and that's me. And you can find me on Twitter at Zopher Hall. That's XOPHER. And take it away, Allie.
I'm Allie, and you can find me on the Symphony Discord and also on the Old Ways Podcast Discord. But where you can really find me is on the Old Ways Podcast in the Vampire the Masquerade Chronicles. So come join us, won't you?
And Alex, again, thank you for your service. Please, by all means, give a shout out, let people know where we can find you, connect with you, and all the sexy, amazing things that you do.
Sure. I'm Alex. I am the co-developer of Mutants and Masterminds, the world's greatest superhero RPG over at Green Ronin Publishing. I am the executive producer of the Untold Stories Project, which is a Twitch and YouTube actual play channel where we shine a spotlight on role-playing games that aren't as popular as D&D or Pathfinder. We're actually gearing up for our own Halloween Spooktacular, where we're going to be doing a bunch of horror games throughout October, so that's going to be special. And I'm the author of the Titan City Chronicles, a fantasy noir series of novels about grumpy wizards who fight mobsters and monsters, and all sorts of fun stuff like that. You can find me mostly at alexanderwrites.com or all those other places I mentioned.
Cover of the new book is mad sexy.
Yeah, the cover is dope. Just
I'm really excited about it. Can't wait to share it with everybody.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We sincerely appreciate it. We hope you have enjoyed the symphony, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. Have a wonderful night. Mwah.